Hello there, this is Pastor Shay, the Christian dating coach, coming to you today with yet another tip. Today, I want to talk to you about the 4 types of people you should not marry. That's correct. 4 types of people you should not marry. Number one, the first type of person is the needy person. Now, it might not seem that way at first. You've met a great guy, you've met a great woman, and you think to yourself, wow, this person is so into me. They love being around me. They want to hug me all the time. They want to grab hold of me, and the list goes on. And this feeling might be a very interesting feeling to you for the first time. You've been waiting on love, you've been praying for love, now you found love, and you just cannot get enough of it. Everybody loves to be admired. Everybody loves to be desired. So when you meet somebody, as a man, it could be a woman you've met who wants to spend every given second with you. She wants to be around you all the time. She does not want you to leave her side, and this could be so exciting and flattering at the same time. But the question you got to ask yourself is this: is this really the fact that she's into you, or is this somebody who's needy? Now, what is the difference between somebody who's needy and somebody who's just into you? Well, somebody who's into you would appreciate the fact that you need your own space. Somebody who's into you would appreciate the fact that you are an individual and recognize that. But somebody who's needy would not see that. They want to be around you when they want to be around you. They expect you to be available when they want to be available. And anything outside of that for them will communicate that you're not really into them, or you don't really care about their emotions or about their needs. This kind of person has a void that you cannot fulfill. This kind of person has a void that they need to sort out within themselves. It could be mentoring that they need, it could be healing that they need, but clearly this needs to be dealt with, and you're not the person to fix that. So don't mix the desire for connection or the fact that somebody likes you and really loves to spend time with you. Don't mix that with neediness. Sometimes when people are so into you that way and they want to be around you all the time, you've got to check to make sure that this is just not a needy trait. Because if you marry somebody who's needy, this is exactly how they will become possessive in marriage, and that would not help you to build a thriving marriage. So be careful of that. Ask yourself, the person I'm dating, the person I'm talking to, do they respect my boundary for space? Do they respect my boundary as an individual? Do they want me to be around them all the time, regardless of what I've said or how I feel about it? This is an example of somebody who's needy if they don't respect all those things I've just mentioned. So check out for those things. So that's number one, needy. The second type of person you want to avoid like a plague is an argumentative person. Now, there's a difference between having debates, having a constructive conversation, or sharing a difference of opinion. But somebody who wants to just argue about any and everything at all and all the time, that is what we call an argumentative person. They're not interested in finding out what your perspective is on a matter. They just want to emphasize why they are right and right all the time. And anything that goes against what they believe and what they've shared with you, they will argue it till the cows come home. That's an argumentative person. And that is not a good breeding ground for a healthy relationship. Now, this kind of person might have some insecurity issues that they need to work out, and you're not there to be the doctor. Let them sort out what they need to sort out themselves. Let them get healthy. Pray for them. Support them in any way that you can. But you don't have to be in a relationship with them. You need to avoid somebody like this, because what would happen is it can wear you out emotionally and mentally. And this is not gender specific. Men can be argumentative. Women can be argumentative. But I want you to be careful not to paint people with the same brush. Somebody might like to debate. Somebody might like to put their point across, and sometimes it might take time for you both to see eye to eye on a matter. That does not mean they're argumentative. An argumentative person is somebody who just loves to argue regardless of what the topic matter might be about. They just love to talk and talk and talk, and they just love to hear their own voice. So that is another thing to bear in mind. The person you're dating, ask yourself, is this person argumentative? Third person I want you to avoid like a plague is the controlling person. They want it their way or the highway, and they can give you practical, logical reasons why they want it their way. They might even tell you they've got degrees in this field. They might tell you whatever they want to say, but the fact is they're not seeing another perspective. They cannot see another perspective. The only perspective that person sees is their perspective. And as long as you don't see their perspective, you are the enemy. that is somebody you must avoid like a plague, because what that tells me is that they don't respect the fact that you might have a different perspective, number one. And number two, they could care less. But in a relationship, you need to both care about each other's perspective. You need to be able to both see it from another person's perspective. And you don't always have to agree. You can agree to disagree, and that is also fine. But somebody who's controlling would not settle for agreeing to disagree. You either see it the way they want you to see it, or you are the enemy. So ask yourself, the person you're dating, the person you're talking to, are they controlling? This is some of the telltale signs you need to watch out for. Because if they are, listen, don't try to be their doctor. Let them get help that they need. And once they're healthy, then you can consider the relationship. Until then, value your peace of mind, value your health, and just stay away from such a person from a relationship perspective. Okay, now the fourth type of person you want to avoid is the pessimistic. Now, life is so interesting and life is so challenging that we are all going to experience our challenges in life. We're all going to face our personal challenges. You don't need somebody to add to that. A pessimistic person will always find a negative in everything. Doesn't matter how good things might be, doesn't matter how wonderful things might be, they will find a reason to paint it black or to paint it negative. So, for example, somebody who's pessimistic might look at a cup. What they will not see is a cup that is half full. They'll see a cup that is half empty. So that's the perspective. And somebody who's pessimistic might see an opportunity and call it danger. Meanwhile, all that opportunity requires a little bit more investigation. So you want somebody who's optimistic, because optimism builds about positive energy in you, gives you that sense of hope, gives you that desire to thrive, to achieve, to go further than you perhaps might have gone before. But somebody who's pessimistic will give you reasons why something cannot be done, why you should not attempt something. And this is quite limiting. You know, somebody who's pessimistic, if you have an argument with them in a relationship, all they see is the bad. They don't see the good. So it's harder to work out issues in a relationship with somebody who's pessimistic, because when things go wrong, all they will continue to see is the fact that things are going wrong and what else can go wrong. And that makes it incredibly difficult to work with somebody like that and build a thriving relationship. So somebody who's pessimistic, again, you're not a doctor. Help them to get help if you can, but you don't have to be in a relationship with them. So I hope this really helped you. This is Pastor Shay coming to you today with yet another tip, and I'll speak to you soon.